Well, the jerk store called. They're running out of you.
On top of that, he's like, you know, he just wanted to talk to him, but he just kept on giving him an attitude. I'm like, dude, like, nowadays everybody thinks they're a fucking lawyer, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Because of social media, dude.
Yep.
Like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the things I sent to Robert of something that happened.
Oh, my God.
Outside my synagogue. Yeah, it's one of these people who I'd never heard of, but just, oh, God, what did he call himself? First Amendment Auditor. What the hell's a First Amendment Auditor? Now we hear of our, you know, it's easier when you're a Second Amendment Auditor. Those are the people that just shooting up places. I know what a Second Amendment Auditor does, but the First Amendment, yeah. And so, and this person is also, it's a he, she, or a she, he, or it's a whatever.
Whatever.
You know, you're right, yeah.
Mystery meat.
Mystery meat,
Whatever
right? It's a guy, right. Although born with.
Does it have a hot dog or taco meat?
Right. And so, you know.
Did you plug in their mics?
They should be.
So
testing.
So Val should be 3.
I can hear him.
Hello.
I hear him.
So Val should be 3, and then
testing.
Dan should be 4.
I plugged Daniel's in because 3 was open, so I plugged Dan's into 3.
Oh, 3. Oh. 3's James.
There's also none in for. Oh well, the headphones. There's no headphones.
No, I'm talking about like for the mic itself. Yeah.
And anyway, so this guy,
I figured I messed it up.
Whatever. Just goes out, you know, silent, but is just filming the you know, outside of the synagogue. And so, you know, people are coming for Sabbath services, and it's making them nervous, understandably. So I wasn't there that day. It was a few weeks ago. And so we have our rabbi come out, and, you know, what's going on? Oh, I'm conducting a First Amendment audit. And, you know, what's going on? And apparently this person, you know, cases all places, you know, synagogues, churches, military recruiting offices.
So crazy. That person sounded like a crazy person.
Oh, this person is definitely a crazy person. I didn't need to read about.
Yeah. They're right in the front. So go ahead and grab one.
And so he's trying to see how far she can go.
You have as many as you want, but
to try to get the cops to do something illegal, or someone else to do something illegal to infringe on her First Amendment rights of, you know, peaceful assembly. Right. So she's gotten the cops called a few times. She was shot by one security officer, you know, security guard in the leg. You know, just like a warning shot, but it apparently ricocheted and hit her in the leg, or, you know, not much, but
what a shot.
That was like a few months back. Yeah, exactly. You know, she got beat up, and I think rightfully so, when she started cursing at some recruitment officer and like a right Air Force recruiting.
You guys want more the pepperoni on there? Some more salsa chips?
I'm good. I will wait for my McRib afterwards, so I still have appetite for it.
Okay, all right. You want any more? You good?
I'm good with this.
You're good? Okay.
And so half the time she goes too far, obviously. The other half she's just annoying as shit. But in this case, and I applaud our rabbi, even though it's not the thing the cops recommended once we told them what happened. They're like, oh, yeah, we know who this person is, and blah, blah, blah. You know, they were rolling our eyes because they understood. Our rabbi decided, he said, okay. So he takes out his phone and starts filming her, okay? And she, you know, freaks out, and she knows she can't physically, you know, assault someone because then she'll be, you know, arrested and put away.
Right.
And she's had like 1 or 2 lawsuits settled already, but I guess she hasn't done jail time yet, or at least not for this. And apparently she's making a career. That's the problem with not just her, but people in general. She's making a career out of this because she's one of these YouTube celebrities.
Oh,
okay.
Jesus.
And she doesn't have a lot compared to like pop stars who have millions of followers, but she does have 20,000 followers. Or subscribers.
Yeah, that's
right?
significant.
Okay, that's right. Okay, it's enough to, apparently. I thought you needed in the hundreds of thousands before YouTube would give you you know, sponsor deals and royalties from, not sponsors, from ads. But apparently no, she has, you know, a few thousand, or 20,000 is enough that on her channel.
Well, we had
whatever.
I don't know if you remember hearing this story, but at work we had some group of people who came in, and like kind of the same thing, that their YouTube celebrities or some sort, and they go around causing commotions and trying to piss people off and trying to like generate reactions.
Yep.
And they came into our office, and it was like, it wasn't. I wasn't there, thankfully, but because I probably would have punched the guy. But no, one of our customers, it was in the up at the front at the window. And he, like, I guess, like, this group of people were pissing off our customers. So they were fucking furious. Like, this one dude who is one of our regulars, he was furious. And he's a big guy. Like, he probably could have killed these guys. And it's just like, what's the point? Like, this is just, it's bullshit. Like, people like that kind of.
Let me get it quick.
Oh yeah, give me your ABCs.
Testing. ABC. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U V.
And you're comfortable like that?
Huh?
Like sit where you're comfortable.
Sit where you're gonna be sitting. Yeah.
Yeah. Be comfortable.
Like I tend to lean back.
That was a little pause because I forgot the rest of the ABC.
That's the Mexican coming out.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I just saw symbols, you know. I was like,
oh no, it's French.
I was like, what can I do?
Alpha, beta, gamma.
Are you drunk already? No.
Give me about 12 of these, and I'll be good.
I pretty much have the whole pack, you know, because I bought this to kind of piss off Andy because it's the Discovery Reserve, which it was kind of to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the moon landing.
Oh right, yes.
We all know that that's a lie.
You mean the studio moon landing?
Yeah, the studio moon landing.
With Stanley Kubrick as the director.
You know what's funny that you say about the whole reaction videos and stuff? Excuse me. I hate all those videos, man.
They're stupid.
I can't stand it. Like, I hate when like they showed one for I forgot what it was, but they showed one for I think it was a Mother's Day or Father's Day, and then they were like, oh, you know, we wanted to see if people would react to our actor, you know. So basically the actor had no money to pay supposedly for her meal for
this
her
is
kids.
like the punked of like the modern age.
Yes, exactly. You know, so
and they call it what is it?
social experiment. Yeah,
God, I hate that crap.
Stupid.
I know, dude. And then like the
I take offense to that as like a psychologist and son of a therapist. There's actual social experiments.
Yeah, like
I know,
these are not social experiments.
I know you should go up to people who are like, hey, you know what? My grandmother, she was a part of a social experiment by Mangala.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Dude, like
that's true.
These people are like,
God,
it was called the final solution, and I'm going to give you a final solution if you tone back the hell off. Yeah.
But here's it. Yeah.
But yeah, man, like they were like, oh, you know, we're gonna say that she doesn't have enough money for her and her kids to pay for the meal, and it's Mother's Day or whatever. And the people next to her, they hear her like, oh, you know, I just want this one meal, and I'm gonna share with my kids when they come out. So the waiter's like, oh, okay, you know, but keep in mind this is just an act, you know. And so the lady, out of good heart, is like, you know what, if you're gonna be getting only one plate for you and your kids, like, why don't I pay for your kids? You know what, I'll pay for the meal. Like, don't tell your kids nothing, I'll pay for your meal. So she pays for the lady's meal, you know. And then later on they tell her like, oh, look, this is just a special a social experiment to see like how people would react.
Right, you have to debrief people, otherwise there's lawsuits.
Yeah, exactly.
You always have to debrief them afterwards.
Yeah, like, oh, we just wanted to see how people would react and this and that. And the lady's like, oh, well, you know, out of good heart, you know, I just saw this lady and she didn't have enough money for her and her kids. I just thought it was wrong. You know, no mother should, you know, go through this on Mother's Day or whatever. All these things. My problem is that, like, okay, if I'm sitting in a restaurant and I see a lady going through that, how am I supposed to know if it's real or if it's fake? Like, with all this shit going on, you know, it makes me not want to help somebody out.
Well, and that's the thing, is like, because I think a lot of us, you know, we're kind, we're you know, a generous, caring, charitable people, and it's like, yeah, I want to, you know, you hear the sob story and it's like, you know, I want to help them out, but then there's so much of this fake shit that's out there.
Exactly.
Like there was
that gets 100 times the amount of coverage. That's the problem. Most people I believe this, and I think it's true. Most people, the majority, vast majority, are good at heart. Okay,
No,
are
of
good,
course.
kind souls, right?
No, right, yeah. This,
But you get like
it's the
shafted
1
with
out
that
of 10,
enough.
even if it's the 1 out of 100, it's magnified by 100. Those are the
Right.
viral videos you
yeah,
see.
I mean, I
that are
think
7
generally
millions of times.
we're a high trust society,
Right.
And so, you know, we
Good Samaritan
we
videos
can't
are
we
not
can't really
interesting.
we can't really fathom someone like, you know, taking advantage of something like this. And
Exactly.
But then, like, when it happens, it's like complete, you know, it completely shatters you, and it's like then it kind of jades you for the, you know, for, you know, maybe
start to
a
become
similar
more cynical,
situation,
yeah.
a similar situation where it is genuine, and it's like this person is in need, but then you're like, oh, I don't know if I can trust this.
Yeah, you're like, I kind of don't want to help him out because, like, what if like somebody's gonna come out with the camera and be like, oh, we just wanted to see your reaction. Like, what the fuck?
But then you kind of have to wonder, like, was network TV doing, because, you know, on ABC they have like that what would you do kind of thing.
Oh my god, I hate that show. I
Yeah.
hate it. I hate it.
Right, where you have, like, you know, the mom screaming at the kids, or you have like the abusive boyfriend or whatever, and just like,
And see.
Here's a person who looks like a guy going into the women's bathroom and says,
Yeah,
no,
you know?
I'm actually a woman.
I know,
like-
now if you it's like you're a
Now
hateful
there's-
piece of shit if you say anything.
You think it.
And now there's like, you know, 2 or even 3 levels of that. It's not just okay, he's making a mistake, or he's doing it intentionally and trying to, you know, speak about a woman.
Yeah.
No, it's actually a woman, or he actually thinks of himself as a woman, or blah blah blah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes you wonder, and it kind of, it's in the back of your head, you know, when you see certain situations. I mean, dude, I've seen people with a flat tire, and I'm like, should I stop and help him? I'm like, but what if somebody fucking comes? I mean, the dude's in a BMW, you know, like,
Yeah, he probably has, you know, what is it, the roadside service?
Yeah,
whatever,
bro,
package.
yeah, exactly. You know,
Here's the thing, though. Like, even that story, like, you know, about like
I'd
changing
like to
a tire.
call
There
my
was a
man,
guy
sir.
that went to help a Samaritan, and then like there was a woman who had a flat tire. She accused him of rape. Yeah.
See?
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
And you know, one time,
Can't do anything
one time
right
I was,
these days.
one time I was going to work. I was working at Newbury Park, at the crematorium where I used to work.
Oh damn.
And as I'm driving to work, it's like, shit. It was like 4 a.m, you know. And there's this guy on the side, and I pull up, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? I was like, you know, you got a flat going? And he's like, yeah, dude, whatever, you know, all this stuff. And I tell him, I'm like, do you have AAA, or like, you know? And he's like, no, I don't have anything. He's like, I have a spare, but he's like, shit, I don't know how to put it on. And I was like, you know what? Like, don't trip out. You know, I'll help you out. And then he's looking at his phone. He's like, all right, well, tell me when you're done. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And I'm like, tell me
when. You're gonna keep me company, you know?
Yeah,
like, you know,
dude.
Tell me about yourself as I'm
Like,
fixing your tire.
you know, yeah. So he like just walks like towards the front of the car, and I was like, yeah, fuck you, dude. I get in my car, I drive off, and as I'm driving off, like, I look at him, he looks at me, and I'm just like, you know, like, with the fuck you face, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
And he's looking at me like, kind of like, what went wrong, you know?
Similar story but different.
That's even worse when you don't know what went wrong. You know? You're like, oh,
Similar
case.
situation, but different. One time, my car, it got a flat, and so I was, you know, gonna put on the spare, but the spare was flat too.
Oh, damn.
Or it was just out of air because it's been so long since I've used it or whatever, or checked on it. So I called AAA. And asked him to come and like fill up my tire, and the guy comes, and it was like raining too, and so I got out of the car, I greeted him, I was like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, I just need put some air in my tire to get out of here. It's like, oh, okay. And then so he goes in the front, and he goes to the tire, and then he starts filling it up, and I'm standing there with him like in the rain, and then he's like telling me, it's like, oh, sir, you can go wait in your car. I was like, no, it's okay, because it's like it's raining, and this guy's like, I know it's his job and everything, but still, it's like,
you want to kick it with company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Show your gratitude.
So you're getting wet with, it's like I'll get wet with you. It's
like, dude, you're helping me out, man.
I'm the one that fucked up.
I mean,
with,
I know.
Filling my spare.
Yeah, I know it's the guy's job, because I paid for the service, so
doesn't mean you can't show a little bit of kindness.
Just show a little bit of kindness, a little courtesy, a little solidarity. It's like, hey, man, it sucks that you have to come out here to help me out because I messed up in some minor way, but I know like you're gonna get paid anyways, but this is showing my sign of appreciation of you coming out in the rain. So you're gonna be wet, I'm gonna be wet.
Yeah, it's that appreciation that I feel like people do.
Hey Robert, can you get me some of that Moonland beer?
You know, but like, yeah.
Hey, now that I look at it again, that rocket, that lunar lander looks an awful lot like a beer bottle. Are those strings attached to the
It's all.
It's like some bad 50s sci-fi film.
Yeah, right.
Hey, is this a twist off? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it's a twist off. I was about to try to break it off, man. I was. This isn't on the podcast, right?
No. Well,
Okay.
this is
It's the
this will be
pre-game
the
stuff.
behind the scenes.
Okay.
This will be backstage
Congratulations, we're finished. And
I know,
that's a
right?
wrap.
stuff. Yeah, that's a wrap. Thank you, gentlemen.
I was
We
like,
got
wait,
everything we need.
I don't want to
All
say
your racist shit is like, it's
Yeah,
don't
it's in it. Yeah, those
Sometimes
fucking
the
Mexicans.
pregame- yeah, sometimes the pregame is the funniest part, you know. And Andy will put it
But
on.
yeah, dude, I was telling him I went to a one of my pickups, you know, for work, and the guy's like, "Hey man, you want a cold one?" I was like, "Yeah, fuck it, dude, it's Friday, man, just bring one out." So he gives it to me, and I grab my scanner and I fucking pop it open, and he turns around with the bottle opener. He's like, "What the fuck? He's like, did you just open it with the scanner?" And I was like, "Yeah, man." And then he's like, "What the fuck? That's the first." I was like, "Thanks, man."
You know what's a trip? Like young people. I remember, like, you know, people like just turned like 21 or like their early 20s, and I remember me and another friend, we were just like kind of hanging out, and we were just meeting like these new people. They're like younger than us, and you know, me and my friend gets me a beer, and then he says, "Here, let me open it for you." Yeah, and he takes a lighter and he pops it open, and the freaking like 22-year-olds, they like their minds are blown. It's like, how'd you do that? It's like, what are you talking about? This is the stuff that you're supposed to learn like in high school.
Yeah,
you know,
dude, like, dude, I've literally,
You didn't down a 6-pack, you know, at a kegger in high school.
I know, but you didn't like, you weren't put in a situation where you had to like force yourself to come up with like these new innovative
yeah,
things.
You gotta MacGyver it, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
you do.
MacGyver it. That's the problem. There's no MacGyver. Well, there is a MacGyver on TV. But
There
it
is,
sucks.
I'd say.
Yeah,
Agreed,
yeah.
But there's no teaching MacGyver.
Yeah,
You're all
what-
laughing at like, oh, that guy's cool.
There's no
you know, whatever.
MacGruber, there's no MacGyver. There's no
I think one of the funniest one was we were
It's all
on
about
our
Phil Hartman.
we were on our way to
Bowling out for the
Mexico.
homie. Rest in peace, Phil Hartman.
we were on our way to Mexico. You know, we back then when we were kids, you know, my family was a lot tighter. You know, so
Right.
we would literally it would be half of the fucking bus just full of family
Right.
on our way to Mexico, and my cousin was sitting right next to me in the other seats. You know, and dude, he grabbed shit. What did he grab? I forgot. It was like a piece of plastic he grabs, pops open the beer, and when he popped it open, it bounced off the top, and there was a guy just knocked out. Smacks him right on the face, and he wakes up. He's like, "Huh?" And I was like, "Oh shit," you know. Dude, it was the funniest thing. His face was so fucking funny. I was like, "Poor dude, just got woken up out of his deep slumber." You know? Yeah, he's like, "What the fuck? We're in Mexico." Like, did I get shot? You know,
I get shot. Yeah.
those cartels out here. You know.
Hey man, you know you're in a bad neighborhood when you can get shot while you're getting shot.
That's a good one.
You have to see that. Speaking of
Have to have
social
Chris Rock,
experiments, you know, social experiments and those fucking Instagram and YouTube pranks.
Uh-huh.
I think the funniest one was where this guy, he has a map, right? And he's going up to people and he's like, "Hey, homie, you lost, fool, you lost," you know? And people are like, "What the fuck? What's up?" And he's like, "Well, I have a map, you know?" And then they're like, "Oh, you know," some people are like, "Oh, shit, that's kind of funny." Some people are like, "Hey, man, like, chill, you know, you can't be doing that around here, you know, because it's the hood."
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Right,
you
yeah.
know, it's like the hood.
You lost?
So that, yeah, you know,
You're gonna be permanently lost.
Dude,
if you keep
he
that.
goes up to this fucking car full of like 4 dudes are in there, right? He goes up to this car and he's like, "Hey, homie, you lost? What's up? You lost?" The guy's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "What you say to me?" Dude, he pulls out a gun and starts shooting at him. Dude, he's running down the corner, and the dude with the camera comes out of the alley. He's like, "Dude, it's a prank, it's a prank, it's a prank." And then he's still shooting at him. And then he grabs his shoulder. He's like, "Dude, it's a prank." And then I grabbed his shoulder. "Oh, it's a prank, bro." He's like, "Dude,
I think about your prank.
Oh my God.
Dude, he's like,
all I knew was a prank the entire time.
yeah." But it's funny because he's out the car shooting at him as the guy's running around the corner, and then the guy in the alley comes. He's like, "Dude, it's a prank. Chill. It's a prank. You know, we're just, you know, it's for YouTube." He's like, "Oh, y'all motherfuckers on YouTube?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, well, follow me, D-Lo something." You know, he's like, I be doing that rapping shit, you know. Dude, I thought it was
Welcome to America, boys and girls. Yeah.
Dude, I thought it was the funniest fucking video. It took me so long to find it just to show my girlfriend, but it had me dying. I was
We're
like,
gonna have to look that one up here.
yeah, you have to. It's funny.
Dude, I don't know
Like,
if it was
that's
a
what you
911 call, but it's so hilarious. It was like this guy calling 911. It's like, he has a thick East LA accent.
Dude, don't tell me it's the guy that broke his hand, right?
Or so. Oh yeah,
Where-
and then
where
he's
he
like,
felt-
oh, you know this. You know who did it? He's like, yeah, but I ain't no snitch, fool.
Dude, I've listened to that one.
Yeah.
I've listened to that one. They're like, he calls the fucking cops and it's like,
he goes 911 and it's like, oh man, I got shot. Oh, this is like Freddie something or other from Long Beach.
yeah.
Johnny Tight Lips.
Yeah.
There's
Like, you know who shot you? He's like, yeah, but I ain't no snitch.
He's like, I just want you to send the ambulance. There's another one. There's another one where the guy calls, and then he was like, hey man, I need you to send an ambulance, and then they were like, oh okay, what's your location? So he says the location, and he's like, I broke my arm, and then they were like, sir, are you intoxicated? He was like, no, I had like 6 beers, I think, and then they were like, oh, do you feel nauseous? Do you feel disorientated? Nah, but I feel like I'm gonna pass out. And then they were like, okay, sir, so you're not feeling well? And he's like, no. He was like, I want you to come pick me up and take me to like Alameda something. And then they were like, so you know what hospital you want to go? Yeah, you know what? On top of that, don't be bringing all that sirens and shit, man, waking up the neighbors. He was like, just let me know when they're here. And I'll go.
Jesus.
I was like, damn, talk about a good time.
So good.
All right. So
On that
note, let's get
do we need any bathroom breaks?
You know what?
More
Let me just.
It's okay. I got a water bottle for that.
Let me push one out.
If you need butt wipes, they're in there too.
Oh, okay, cool.
No, I meant I got my bottle just in case I need a bathroom break during this.
Do you want any more snacks, Andy? Like,
I'm fine.
you're good? Okay.
Remember, I'm just coming from dinner, so.
Oh, that would explain the.
Mental quality is devoted to digestion.
Yeah, so guys, I mean, the thing,
You guys are the best giraffes I've ever met.
Oh, man. Giraffes.
Oh man.
That's a funny looking animal.
It's a simulation. It's fake. It's a fake animal.
It's like they crossed a horse with an elephant trunk.
Oh man. It's good to have you back, Dan.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Right?
Good to be back home, jerking around. I mean, well.
I was it my cousin came for my birthday. He came into town and they were like, he was asking me like, because I was talking about the podcast, like, and when I told him the name, he's like, that is awesome. So I had to of course he was like, how did you guys come up with that story, or how did you come up with that name? And so I had to tell him the story and how like James was kind of just like, but guys, do you know what this name means? And it's like, yeah, that was the whole point. It's like, oh.
Dude, given the fact that it's Halloween, I got some great fucking stories for you.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's why we brought you on, Val, because
Recently happened.
Dance Monkey. Yeah, it's like,
Dance Monkey, dance.
Halloween, and the USPS always has some great shit going down.
No, they have to be.
No, there's that.
All right. Quick producer notes. This camera doesn't film continuously, so every 30 minutes or so, it takes like a 2 to 4 second break. So I'm gonna call it speed bump. We all just like whatever we're like. If we're in the middle of something, we just freeze.
Okay.
And then we'll wait for the camera to kick back over, and then we begin. Like,
sounds good.
Yeah,
sounds good.
even if you're like,
even with like an emotion, it's like, oh my god, it was like this big, and it's like,
damn.
hold it for like,
Even better, yeah. We need that
Hold
good
it.
jump gun.
Hold
I think it was about this big after
With
the jump gun. And this
and she
big.
was like,
and she was about.
Oh, hold on, I just gotta take my shirt off.
One picture is this big, though. Like, damn.
We need to have the jump cut where, man, it's getting hot in here. And then 4 seconds later, it comes back and someone's just naked.
Oh yeah, the really bad edits.
That's how the jump cuts.
Dude, that would be such a funny ass fucking scene. It's like it'll be a quick scene, like all shirts on, and then like 2 seconds just shirts off, and then you come back and all shirts on.
Honey? And then we're just you're right. It's like all 4 of us.
Someone watches like, wait, what the fuck did I just see shirts off?
They did that intentionally in the new Tarantino Hollywood. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
They did a few sections where there were half a dozen intentional bad jump cuts.
Yeah.
I'm like, what just happened? And then they didn't explain. It was like at random times, not times where you were expecting a comedy reel at the part.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it was just really funny.
I gotta watch that movie. I didn't watch that movie.
Oh yeah,
I didn't see
that's
it either.
awesome.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it.
entertaining,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was one of his best.
You saw it? You saw it?
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
it.
okay.
I mean, the 9 films they did, I would not categorize it in the top 5.
Okay.
I
Okay.
probably agree. If it was half as long, I might put it in, the top 3 or 4.
Yeah.
There were a lot of scenes that just went on too long. When
Right.
DiCaprio is acting, on the stage of the Western, why were we devoting half an hour to this instead of 5 minutes? Yeah, there are a lot of, it was too long, basically. And then finally, when they get to the point of Brad Pitt's character at the end, so Brad Pitt is the stunt double and good friend of DiCaprio, who's the famous actor,
Yes.
in 1969 LA. Okay. And so DiCaprio was, acting in some of the westerns of the 50s and early 60s, and now he's, trying to do some movies, just trying to keep his career relevant, blah,
Okay.
blah, blah. Okay. And you see, it's a great representation for people like my dad and anyone who is here in LA in the Valley. It basically takes place not in downtown that much, pretty much in the San Fernando Valley.
Nice.
In the summer of '69. And he says, yeah, that's, it's good representation, really good. They got all the classic cars, borrowed them from some of the archives, some from Caltech, who keeps all the diesel cars, because there's the weird thing with the all the radio wave emitters. They can't actually have, like JPL, Jet Propulsion Laboratory, they can't have normal spark plug startup cars within like a few blocks of one of their big radio wave telescopes. So they actually have bought out, whenever old diesel cars,
those old like
catalytic
old like Mercedes diesels.
Yep. If the car has a catalytic converter, it actually messes with the super sensitive, radio wave. I don't know if it's I think it is like a telescope.
Yeah,
it's filming like the X-ray radiation at the edge of the galaxy, something like that.
Oh, wow.
It's one of the it's one of the big domes, which is a telescope in addition to other things. So they say, whatever it is, they go out of their way to a lot of trouble to give all their staff, let them borrow when they're driving around on campus or near the facility, these 1950s diesel engine cars. They're borrowing a lot of the cars from like Caltech. So you see, all the classic cars, and it's great. And at a few times, Brad Pitt is driving down like Burbank Boulevard and just, cruising American Graffiti style, just cruising down the boulevard.
Great movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a great
Lucas's
movie.
first.
I love that movie.
So it's a lot of it is that. And of course it's the summer of '69. So, there's hippies, who are, hitchhiking, whatever, up and down Burbank Boulevard. And he eventually picks up one girl who, suspects that she's like 15 or 16, and he says, where to? And of course, she says the Spawn Ranch in Chatsworth.
Oh, nice.
And if you know from,
dude,
and he knows that,
I went to go check that out.
Right, yeah.
I want to go check it out because I knew it was in Chatsworth.
Yeah.
Okay. I knew it was in Chatsworth. I finally was able to see. I finally looked into it. Like, actually, really looked into the ranch itself. And I was like, I wonder where it's at. Maybe it's one of the roads that used to take it, or through Santa Susana Pass. It was literally right off Santa Susana Pass.
Yeah, right there.
And the mailbox was there and everything. So someone that was like a rural carrier must have been taking mail out there. But I went, and then it was funny because I actually did on a Sunday when I was working. I was like, I'll just take my lunch over here. So I stopped by and I took a walk. It was pretty cool. There's this guy on YouTube. His name's Adam Wu. and he goes everywhere in Los Angeles, seeing old spots. Whether it's to do with cinema, murders, whatever it has to do. But yeah, even cemeteries, he goes and he talks about what what celebrities are there, who's buried there, stuff like that. It's a pretty cool channel.
So Spawn Ranch out there in the summer of '69 was where the Manson family called home. And so you see Brad Pitt's interaction with the Manson family and et cetera, with tons of girls there and 2 or 3 guys who are there. Charles Manson is not in the movie at all.
Right.
He was, but
that's right. He made that one appearance.
Yeah, that one appearance, but that was it.
Yeah, right. At the beginning, casing the neighborhood or whatever it was. But yeah, whenever you have Brad Pitt or DiCaprio interacting, Manson himself is supposed to be out of town or whatever. And then at the end of the movie, not to give too much away, but you have the kind of twist on the Sharon Tate murders because Sharon Tate, the actress, that's who Margot Robbie plays in the movie, and she was married to Roman Polanski at the time, and so she's supposed to be DiCaprio and Brad Pitt's next door neighbor, probably in the Hollywood Hills.
Wow.
And so you see a very interesting twist on what you think's going to happen. It's like, they're going to show, the Sharon Tate murder.
This is Hollywood. That kind of parallels ours, but then it's definitely within the Tarantino universe where it's kind of like the revisionist history, like
it's his alternate
a la Inglourious Bastards.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So it has that twist on it where it's
parallel dimension could have
been.
So what if what if Sharon Tate didn't get murdered?
Yeah. What if this happened?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they end up going to the wrong house, and of course it's Brad Pitt and DiCaprio's house.
They were supposed to go, but then they run into DiCaprio's character, and they're like, and they recognize him. Oh crap! That was that guy from the old western.
Yeah.
And then like this really messed up chick is like, what if we killed him because he was the one that taught us about violence and this whole
they're all tripping on acid. All the 3 or 4 Manson
everybody
family
freaking out.
Right.
No, but she's like, man, it's like totally great. It's like, okay.
It's funny because in that show of Adam Wu when he's in Spawn Ranch, he's like, if you look here, there is springs from an old bed where probably the rent was paid in full. You know what I mean? By the girls, because the owner, used to let them stay there if they did certain chores and if they did certain things.
Chores.
That's what the chores.
We'll use that euphemism. Chores.
Exactly.
We like to keep it PG here for the kiddies here.
Fuck that shit.
Rent was paid.
Still within PG-13 because they're always allowed one F-bomb.
That's right.
And PG-13.
That's right.
There's a quota here. We got it.
There's a quota. We met it.
Right?
All right. Anyways, you guys ready to start?
Yeah, let's do this thing.
Do it.
All
Yeah,
right.
let's do it.
Let's go.